So now looking at our patron saint and his symbol of the ox, I believe we can see our purpose as St. Luke's church, the church named for St. Luke. We are called by God to be the people who serve the underprivileged by sacrificing things in our own lives that will allow them to have more. And we do this because of the strength that we have yoked together with each other, in our church family, and with God. While this might sound lofty and idealistic, we do these things because of the strength that we have together, yoked together, if you will, as this community of God in our church. Usually it would be really easy for me to point out the ways in which we do this. I would point to the community supper, the food pantry collections, the giving tree we have at Christmas, and so many other important ministries that we do to show the strength of our service in the name of God, and our own sacrifices that we need to make in order for those ministries to happen. But right now, while we can't do these very visible things, because we can't gather together, I find that we just have to look deeper at how we are sacrificing, how we are serving, and how we are keeping our strength as the church community. I think we can easily name the biggest sacrifice that we're all making these days: being apart, not being together. I am sure that I join you in how much I hate this part of this time. I miss seeing all of you each week. I miss preaching to a church full of people. I miss communion. And I miss catching up at coffee hour, and I miss hearing our choir sing. David does a lovely job, but for me, the choir sings so beautifully and so loudly, so I can sing too, horribly, and none of you will notice. But this is a sacrifice right now, all of this, that we are offering up to God. And we do that to keep our community safe and to keep it strong. And yet, in the midst of this great sacrifice, I have seen such amazing service to each other and to the underserved. I have seen us as a congregation yoke together in new ways to help each other carry the burden of this time and to create a greater strength for our church family. In fact, I've seen so much of this, I actually think that our sacrifice of being apart has been received by God and is being returned to us as a blessing. Often we wonder, what would happen if St. Luke's wasn't anymore? If it was closed or it went away? When we think about this, we think of the building being closed, the clergy no longer being able to lead, and the people sort of drifting apart. But in these past 7 months plus, I think that it's safe to say that St. Luke's is not a building. We are a people of God, working as St. Luke has guided us to sacrifice, to serve, and to have strength for others during this pandemic time, which has in turn created so many other hardships for people. We can see clearly how we have sacrificed to serve others, and that we have found a new strength as a community. And because of this, I know for certain that St. Luke's in Scituate is going to continue on, building or not. And we will continue to live fully into our patron saint's guiding principles as we yoke together, like oxen, to our God. Amen.